Right then, let's just take a deep breath. In you go, and out. Nice one. Imagine we're in a hot air balloon, but it's one of those really fancy ones with comfy chairs and maybe a little fridge full of cold drinks. We're just floating. The sun is soft, not too shouty, and there's a gentle breeze. Down below us is a city, but it's not one of those frantic, beeping ones. This is Liupanshui. It's tucked away in the mountains of Guizhou province in China. You probably haven't heard of it, and that's all right. That's part of its charm. It's like finding a secret level in a video game that's just for relaxing. The locals have a nickname for this place. They call it China's cool city. And they don't mean cool like it wears sunglasses indoors, although it probably could pull that off. They mean it's literally cool, temperature-wise. While other cities are sweltering in summer, Liupanshui is just kicking back with a perfect, gentle warmth. Okay, let's nudge our imaginary balloon a little closer to the heart of things. We're drifting over the downtown area now. See those tall buildings? They're like friendly giants standing shoulder to shoulder. But look closely. This isn't your typical gray concrete sprawl. The city planners here must have been big fans of plants. There are trees lining every street, little parks tucked into corners, and splashes of color from flower beds everywhere. It's as if someone was given the job of building a city, but was told they had to use as much green crayon as gray. It's a pretty good design philosophy, if you ask me. Down there, the streets are humming with life, but it's a gentle hum, not a roar. You can see cars moving like little colored beetles, and people strolling along the footpaths. They don't seem to be in a massive hurry. Maybe it's the cool air. Maybe it's just the vibe of the place. We're high enough that all the sounds of the city blend into a soft, distant murmur. Let's get a bit of a closer look at that skyline. It's quite something. Liupanshui has its fair share of proper, shiny skyscrapers. They catch the sunlight and reflect the sky, sometimes looking like they're made of glass and clouds. They poke up into the air, a sign of the city's progress and ambition. But they don't dominate the view. They share it. For every tall, modern tower, there's a backdrop of an even taller, ancient mountain. Look at the tops of some of those buildings. It's not just air conditioning units and satellite dishes up there. There are little pockets of green. Rooftop gardens are a big thing here, little oases perched hundreds of feet in the air. People are growing vegetables, flowers, even small trees. It's brilliant. It's like they're saying we might be living in a high-rise, but we're still going to have a backyard. Notice how the city is built in clusters, nestled in the valleys between the hills. It's not one continuous urban slab. It's broken up by nature. One neighborhood might be in a wide, open basin, while another is tucked into a narrower valley. As the sun moves across the sky, the light plays tricks on the buildings. In the morning they can look sharp and defined. In the late afternoon, their edges soften, and they seem to glow with a warm golden light. All right, let's steer our balloon away from the city center for a bit. We're heading towards the edges of town, where the buildings get smaller and the mountains get bigger. This is where Liupanshui's other personality really comes out to play. The city gives way to rolling green giants. These aren't jagged, scary-looking peaks. They're soft, rounded, and covered in a thick blanket of trees and shrubs. They look ancient and wise, like they've seen it all. One of the most incredible things you can see here, especially in the early morning, is something called the Sea of Clouds. Because of the altitude and the unique climate, thick white clouds often settle in the valleys overnight. From up here, or from one of the mountain peaks, it looks like the entire world below is a vast, fluffy ocean. The tops of the highest hills poke through like islands. It's absolutely magical. As we drift over these hills, you can see little walking trails snaking their way through the trees. They look like thin brown ribbons tied around a giant green present. People from the city come here to walk, to breathe in the fresh air, and to get a different perspective. The colors up here are incredible. It's not just one shade of green. There are dozens. The deep dark green of the pine forests, the bright zesty green of new leaves in a tea plantation, the soft mossy green on the rocks. It's a whole palette. Let's bring our balloon down a little lower again and float over the city's green spaces. Liupanshui is stitched together with parks and rivers. It's like a big comfy quilt. See that big one down there? That's probably Longjing Park or the Liupanshui National Forest Park. They're not just little squares of grass with a couple of benches. They are huge, sprawling areas of nature right inside the city. There's a river that runs through the city, the Shuicheng River. From up here, it looks like a silver thread weaving through the urban fabric. It's not a big, industrial river. It's been cleaned up and turned into a beautiful feature. The banks are lined with parks and walkways. You can see people down there fishing, jogging, or just sitting and watching the water flow by. A river brings a certain kind of life to a city. It gives it a focal point, a sense of direction. Look at the roads. They're not all straight lines. They have to curve and wind their way around the hills and the river. This makes for a much more interesting journey, even if you're just going to the shops. There are bridges arching over the water and roads that climb gently up the hillsides, offering amazing views around every corner. It means the city reveals itself slowly. You don't see everything at once. Let's zoom in on the people. Not in a creepy way, just in an interested anthropological way. From our balloon, we can't hear their conversations, but we can see the patterns of their lives. Look at the squares and plazas. In the mornings, you'll often see groups of people practicing Tai Chi. Their movements are slow, graceful, and coordinated. It's like a silent, moving meditation. In the evenings, those same squares might be filled with people dancing. The culture here is a mix of different ethnic groups, including the Yi, Miao, and Buye peoples. While we can't see the details of their traditional clothing from up here, their influence is woven into the city's character. It's in the food, the festivals, and the art. Notice the pace of life. People are moving, they're busy, but there's an absence of frantic energy. You don't see people sprinting for buses or shoving their way through crowds. There's a sense of order, but it's a relaxed order. Let's talk a bit more about this cool city thing. It's the city's superpower. The reason for it is simple: altitude. Liupanshui is perched high up on the Yunnan Guizhou Plateau, about 1,800 meters, or nearly 6,000 feet above sea level. The higher you go, the cooler it gets. So, in July and August, when other parts of China are baking in 35 degrees Celsius heat, Liupanshui is just cruising along at a lovely average of 19 degrees. That's perfect. This climate has a huge impact on everything we're seeing below. It's why the hills are so lush and green. The regular rainfall and mild temperatures create the perfect conditions for things to grow. It's also why the air feels so clean and fresh. The cool climate isn't just a nice to have, it's become a major part of the city's identity and its economy. People from all over China flock here in the summer to escape the heat. They call it summering. Well, our time up here in our magical imaginary balloon is coming to an end. The sun is starting to dip a little lower, and the shadows are getting longer. The city below is beginning to light up, with thousands of little golden squares appearing in the windows of apartments. It's a beautiful, peaceful sight. We've seen the city from every angle. We've seen its green heart, its modern ambition, and its gentle soul. We've felt its cool, refreshing air. This journey was just a little taste, a postcard from the sky. There's only so much you can see from a distance. To really experience Liupanshui, you'd have to land. You'd have to walk those mountain trails yourself, feel the cool mist on your face. It's a cool city, in every sense of the word. A hidden gem, waiting to be discovered. Maybe one day, you'll come and visit for real. You'll know your way around a little from having seen it all from above. But until then, I hope you enjoyed the flight. It's been a pleasure sharing the view with you. Not bad for a place you'd never heard of, eh?